All right, how you doing? Brian the Barber today, and I'm going to be talking about the Oster Model 10 clipper. So what we're going to do is that we're going to disassemble it, let you know how it works. First thing what you want to do is remove these two screws, and I will show you as soon as I pause this. All right, so let me resume. So now, looking at Oster Model 10, I put the faceplate off. Let's see, you got the lever right there, and you got the gear right there. So we're going to take those guys out next. Alright, so my apologies, meant to say gear, and I believe that's called a link. So looking at parts, lever, gear, link. Now next thing we're going to do is we're going to unscrew these screws right here. Be 4 screws holding the entire housing. Alright, so now that I took that apart, these 4 screws right there, well, I kind of modified mine. I just want to let you know is that the original 4 screws that come with the Oster Model 10 are these black nylon screws. I feel like these are really easy to break, so I didn't want to do that. I want to show you this one more time. So once you take it down, this, my friend, is the armature right here. And so once you put that in there, we'll talk more about it. So basically, if this thing makes you spins and the fan that goes on, So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take apart the carbon brush unit right there, and we're going to screw where the switch is right there that gets this thing going. So I'll show you in a real quick second after I put this on pause. So now, like I said, unscrew this part. Carbon brushes is where you put it when you start feeling the clipper starting to die down. You just got to place them a little bit from MD Barber. You get some of those, but like I said, this is another unit, another part of the, I think they call it the housing, but yeah. And I'm just going to put those down for a second. So now you see this part is that some people, they need a new switch right there. And that's going to, this is what turns this guy on and starts spinning and everything. But I just want to show everybody this because nobody put a video out there. So I'm going to reassemble it right now, but I'll show you step by step real quick. Alright, so once again, I screwed those 2 metal screws in there. Hold it. And I'm going to reassemble it real quick. Give me a quick second. We're going to put the carbon brushes in. Alright, so I apologize that we're not going to put the carbon brushes in it. Because I'll tell you what, inside here, you see those carbon brushes? If they push here and there's nothing in there, they're just going to pop through. So that way you can't really make it work. So instead what we're going to do is I'm going to start putting these guys right back, and we're going to put this back up there. So I'm going to take a quick pause, and I'm going to show you the video next. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the armature, lightly stick it in there, and also we're going to put these guys back. Before we start doing that, I'll show you how this looks before we screw up the screws. So now it looks like this right now, and just put these screws in there. So these little guys right here, you could get them online, on eBay. I think I got them because they're like 632 screws or something like that. But in other words, long story short, since it's going to be hard, look up for the dimension of, these are the same as the Oster fast feed blade screws, and also the Oster detachable blade screws. So you take any of these guys, you're pretty much good. So give me a quick second, I'm going to screw them in real quick. And this is how it looks so far. Alright, so I'm going to show you where it is. When you're, because the housing is mainly like a hard plastic, you want to screw these in until just firm, but don't twist them all the way in there. Otherwise you're going to loosen up the threads. But now we're going to work on putting the carbon brush in there. So as you could see, you want to see of how the carbon brushes See that groove right there? So it's spinning this way, so you want to stick it in this way. Don't force it. Oh, see, it's not getting in. Alright, so yep, hold on, give me a quick second. Alright, so now this is how it looks. And these little caps right here, stick them in. I'm going to use my pinky and hold it while I'm trying to keep this camera. So now that's how it looks. We're going to do the other side. Of course, I'm going to tighten it with a screwdriver just to be on the safe side. I'm going to twist this over. Same thing. The groove goes this way. See, it just perfectly fits. Get the springs, or not the spring, brush caps, that's what they call them, I believe. See there, mine just sticks still, and then we're just gonna put this guy over it. Pretty much that's it. And just gonna lightly tighten it. Alright, so I'm gonna test it out now. I'm gonna plug this in, so I don't have it plugged, and then we're gonna test it out. Alright, so now I'm just gonna use my pinky. Turn on. See how fast those guys are going? Pretty fast, yep. Of course, brush all those guys down. Yeah, you can smell the carbon brushes a little bit, but make sure you oil them. When you turn them on, oil these guys right there. It sucks in the oil in.